Hey guys, welcome back to another video in this channel. Today we're gonna do something a little bit different. I know that I normally teach stuff about 3D, but I'm gonna be completely honest and transparent with you, as I always am. I'm still working on the hard surface course that I sneak peeked yesterday. So if you haven't checked that video, go check it out. It's pretty cool. A couple of nice models that we're doing. So I'm doing the final model. I'm working on the final touches of the final model, and it's already late, and I need to finish that because we want to release this for you guys as soon as possible. And I didn't have enough time to prepare for today's video. So today's video is gonna be a little bit different, but I think it's gonna be something useful for you, which is I call it self improvement or self critique. Okay, that's the title of the video or something like that. And yeah, so in the 3D artist world, some of you have asked me, hey, how do you stay motivated? What's the best way to pick a project? All of those kind of things are what I call like the human part of the art world, right? Because we of course have the technical aspect, which is all of the tools that we use and how to learn them, like how to do things inside of Maya, ZBrush, Substance Painter, all of the different softwares. But there's also a human factor. We are humans, we are artists, and there's a couple of things that go through our minds when we're working. And I think one of the most important ones, and I think this is going to be the title of the video, because it's a syndrome that's really common. It's called the imposter syndrome. So you probably have heard about that one, and it's when you do a work or are working on something, and you feel that you're not good enough or that your work is not good enough, and we tend to be our own like worst and best critiques. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And here I went into the vault of memories, and I pulled out this character, which I'm very fond of. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Dungeons and Dragons, and this is one character that I had. His name is Door, like a door with just a single O. And this is my final project for my intro to ZBrush class when I was a student. This was in 2015. I already had previous ZBrush experience, so that's one thing that not a lot of schools tell you about. Sometimes when they show you that, like the big portfolios, they say that, oh yeah, a student did this, but sometimes the student has a little bit more experience beforehand. So this is the one that I did, and back then I was really proud with it. I was really happy with the results. But now I look at it and I see so many mistakes, and I see so many mistakes that I'm even like tempted to take this out of my portfolio and just replace it with something better. But here's the thing. We need to be mindful of where we were when we were growing as artists. We tend to be, I think, I'm personally tend to be very like harsh with myself, and it's like, no, it's not good, you need to do it better. And sometimes I record things like 2 or 3 times until they are really good. And it's great to be like really to push yourself to do great things, but sometimes it can also be harmful. So there's a technique that I like to use to get away from that imposter syndrome, and that is called the sandwich technique. I use it a lot in my like teamwork like classes and stuff, when I teach students how to manage teams and stuff. And the sandwich technique is a way in which you can critique someone or critique yourself in such a way that you are giving like valuable critique without destroying the emotional aspect of someone, right? Of course, you need to grow a thick skin, and you need to learn how to receive critique. But the sandwich technique tells us that you should give a positive feedback about the piece, like say something that you like about the piece, and then start saying all the things that you don't like about the piece. And you can go like forever on all the things that you don't like. And after you're done saying all the things that you don't like, or after you write all of the things that you don't like, then you start saying again things that you do like. So that kind of like softens the blow, right? Like you're like, okay, I like these things, all of these things suck, and I like this thing. So it makes it a little bit more palatable or digestible, if you wish. So for instance, in this guy, I cheated quite a bit, because this post-production thing that you're seeing, this render, like for instance, at the eyebrows, they're painted. The fiber mesh was looking horrible, so I painted the eyebrows inside of Photoshop. So this only works for this final image. I'm gonna show you the model in just a second. But I'm gonna tell you like what things I don't like. I really like the beard. I think the beard looks nice. It could look better. Yes, everything could look better always, but I think the beard looks nice. I like the arms. I think the muscles of the arm are looking quite nice, and they follow like most of the main anatomy points that I teach my students nowadays. I hate this like flap right here. I'm not sure what I did there or why that is there. I kind of like the belly, looks interesting. The legs don't look that bad. The hands are horrible. I hate the hands. This is probably the weakest part of the whole sculpture. The rocks as well, they look like just like lumps. They look like charts. So yeah, not great on that side of things. But I also like the expression. I like the pose. The axe is not bad. I mean, it could be better, but it's not bad. The pants are not good. Back in the day, we didn't have all of the new like cloth things that we have nowadays, so you had to improvise and do the things that you could. But this looked like way too shiny. They look like they're made out of plastic. And yeah, so I like the reflections. There's a couple of like things I did in post production that really saved the image or this render. But it's a lot of like makeover. So I'm gonna show you the actual element here. Let me see if I have it over here. Yeah, I have it. Yeah, there we go. So dwarf model. Let's go by date modify. 2014. This was 2014. I thought it was 2015. It was 2014. God, that was way like a long time ago. There we go. It seems like this is the last one that I did. December the 1st, 2014. Let's take a look at it. And again, imposter syndrome, like if we go a little bit more into that thing, I'm not I'm not a psychologist, but I face that. Sometimes it feels like you're not really that good, right? Like you see the top guys, and then you look at yourself and like, damn, I'm not there yet. But here's the thing, and this was an advice that my father gave me, and he said that the pie, like if you think about all of the businesses out there that are looking for people that do 3D art, it's big enough. Of course, there's going to be a section of that pie that's going to be reserved for the top of the top, the best of the best. That the only the top studios, the top artists are going to be working on that kind of projects. There's so much other work out there, and if you're working in another studio, like in an indie studio, if you're working on your own, if you're doing things for your local like community and stuff, that doesn't make you any less of an artist. Like you're still an artist and you're still doing great things. So give yourself a pat on the back and be sure that you're doing things the right way. Of course, there's always room for improvement. That's my personal motto: always learning, always improving. But don't think less of yourself just because you're not at the top studio right now. If that's your goal, then great. But you could also live an entire life working on an indie studio or in a small community on a small studio, and you could be as happy as anyone working on something else. I think sometimes as a society we overrate like the top level, and we think that that's the only thing that is gonna make you happy. There's so many other things that are gonna make you happy. So yeah, don't worry too much about it. If you ever feel like an imposter, just remember all of the things you've learned along the way, where you were when you first started your 3D journey. Maybe you're just starting, or you just have like a couple of months, or maybe you've been doing this for years, like myself. Just think about all of the things that you've learned in this journey, and you're gonna see that you're no imposter. You've learned so much and you've improved so much, and that makes you a great artist. So this is the guy. This is Door, and again, the model's not that bad. You can see that, as I mentioned, the eyebrows were painted in Photoshop after the fact. And here's where I can notice like all of the different things that are wrong, right? Like the pose again, it's not that bad. I think he looks like quite like well placed. But like this guy's right here, oh my god, like this shirts look horrible. That's one of the things that I would definitely improve. And improving up on an old piece is actually one of the things that I recommend. Someone asked me about portfolios a couple of months ago or a couple of weeks ago, and this is one really great technique. Like if you don't have enough time to create a piece from scratch, going back to an old piece and making it better with all of the new skills that you know is actually like a really good thing. Now, one thing that I did do with this guy is I do have a model of the guy before the pose, I believe. I should have, because one important thing there you go, that was when we were doing some tests over there. That's already the pose, probably like around here. See why it's so important to save so many like there we go. So I do have the model. The model is here. So if I wanted to really improve upon this guy, I could go back and really fix those like chubby hands that look horrible. Oh my god. I can't even look at them. They're so bad. So yeah, like being an artist is hard, guys. And again, I know that this is sort of like an improvised pep talk, but it's something that happens to every one of us. Like even to me, when I'm doing like the courses for you guys, sometimes throughout the courses I also get like frustrated when things don't go my way, or when the tools are not working the way I want them, or when I can't figure out how to do something. But that's part of the learning process. We always try to be, especially well myself, I try to be very transparent throughout the process, and I don't want to like just like hide it and sugarcoat things. Being an artist is difficult, it's a job, and the most important thing is not to give up. Don't give up, and just keep pushing. So whenever you're looking at a bad work or an old work like this one, again, you're gonna make a list, and you're gonna make a list of all of the things that you need to improve. For instance, I'm working on a new character for a class. I'm actually gonna be teaching that tomorrow morning or today morning. So if you're watching this on Friday, I'm teaching the class right now probably, and I know that I'm gonna have to pay special attention to the hands, because the hands are one of those areas that are tricky to me, and I need to improve so that the next character that I show, like a complete character like this guy, is way better in that department, right? And then if I like something, for instance, I really like the anatomy that I did here on the back of the character, then I can take that information and run with it, like just replicate it and do my best possible version. So yeah, that's it, guys. Let me know what you think about this. Have you guys felt about have you guys felt this imposter syndrome? If you want to take a look or learn a little bit more about it, again, it's a very common syndrome, and I've read about people like who are at the top, like who are at AAA studios doing amazing characters, amazing things, and they still think that they are an imposter. So it happens to everyone, to the best of us. So yeah, it's just something that you need to learn to kind of like live with it, but leave it to the one side and just keep improving upon your art. Okay. Whenever you're critiquing yourselves, again, that's another little tip that I want you guys to keep. Use the sandwich technique. So always point out the good things that you like about your piece, what things you learn, are the things that you improved upon, what are the things that you still need to work on, like I mentioned here, the hands, the claw, the beard, stuff like that. And then again, what things you really like about the character, like some sort of muscle, the expression, the pose, because all of those things are going to keep you motivated and it will allow you to push forward and create more amazing art. So yeah, that's it, guys. I'm going to go back to work. I'm going to go back to finishing the hard surface course. Alejandro has been doing this very cool robot head. So if you guys are beginners in the 3D world, this is a Blender tutorial, so it's completely free. It's pretty much like a full class. It's been like I think we're in part 5 right now. I've been following along, and it's a really in-depth exploration of how to do the thing. So I encourage you to also look into that one. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you back tomorrow. Also, help me, give me suggestions down here. What else should we talk about in the channel while we are still working on the pro courses? Let me know, and I'll be happy to read your comments and implement those as well. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. I'll see you back tomorrow. Bye bye.